Hello everybody and welcome to Save or Dice. We're back with yet another episode of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we've got not just me, not just Cody, not just Jim, not just PRUITT, we also have Dave from Nerdarchy with us today, and we're going to head into yet another exciting episode. But before we do that, we've got some very special sponsors to talk about, and Dave's going to be talking about them.
I'm so excited to talk about Dungeon Painter Studio, our go-to destination for maps. You can see Cody making maps like a madman over at Dungeon Painter. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Dungeon Painter Studio. And of course, our tabletop of choice, Fantasy Grounds. There is no other virtual tabletop out there but Fantasy Grounds. Go get some Fantasy Grounds.
Amazing, and let us hand over to the most dazzling of deviants that I've seen in a little while, Cody Lewis.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Save or Dice. Thanks for joining us tonight. Gentlemen, when we last left off, things went a little haywire in the triumphant return from Maznagrax into Parmath. Didn't go quite as planned, I would say, is probably a fair statement. When you guys arrived, Parmath was ablaze, in flames, and in a battle royale, so to speak, of the invading drow forces being hopefully driven back by the Dwarvish forces. Shotura was dead. That's not all. Something else seemed to take place here with the return of Grindlebrew. Grindlebrew had a bit of a crisis, if you will, and upon returning as heroes of Vagram, dispelling the Shadow Veil anchor, a celebration was in order. But not all were happy to hear that only Grindlebrew, Huell, Braso, and our beloved keeper Roscoe Threestone had returned. Doris was furious that Gregor was not counted among the triumphant returners. After a bit of dialogue, understanding that the King of Vagram, King Silverbane, had perished, Lady Canna informed you that the hall was yours, that a celebration would commence, and that is when things turned a bit sour with Grindlebrew. After a secret rendezvous, a little bit of flirting with our dear Huell here, and a meeting was arranged at the place that Grindlebrew knew where, if you know what I mean, and in a fountain riddled with memories of loving and kindness and fondness between Grindlebrew and his ex-wife Doris, Grindlebrew viciously turned on Doris and bashed her to death with the help of Huell, who helped a little. Just a little bit. The party, frantic and not sure what to do after seeing Grindlebrew taken down to the dungeons, a decision was made with the group to flee, to leave this new Grindlebrew, this new returned Grindlebrew who seems so angry and different than their beloved friend and companion, behind, to suffer whatever fate was in wait for him. Huell, using a bit of magic, a spell procured by Rothillion that was a bit beyond him, made his best attempt to get the group out of Vagram and on their way to Selasisi, the city of elves. And that is where we left off. You guys being pulled and wisped lightly, feeling thin like you're floating and being drawn into an aether. And suddenly, the three of you find yourselves in a cedar-built room as you kind of gaze about a bit, trying to gain your bearings. As you turn to look over, you hear a loud, shrill scream from a half-dressed woman in the midst of a bath. Ah! She's quickly grabbing towel and trying to cover herself up with modesty. What do you do?
Pardon us, ma'am. Just passing through.
Huell takes his hat and covers his eyes.
Oh, this is just embarrassing. Huell.
Pardon us, ma'am.
What
We're
are
just
you doing here? Get out!
well, we just stepped through the doorways between worlds. It's inaccurate,
Mama!
as you can tell.
We've got some peeping toms. We're being burgled.
Braso will take off his hat and cover Roscoe's eyes.
Yeah, is there a door that we can leave through?
Oh yeah, there's a window, which appears to be out on the second floor, and then there is a door leading back down into a hallway.
I will go to the window, open the window, and what's outside?
City streets, bright and a bustle. Humans, half elves, dwarves, all sorts of creatures walking about. Very, very busy.
Is there flagpole?
Huell misty steps out of there.
Okay, 1 second. First off, we'll go with you, Dave. What was your question?
Looking for clotheslines, flagpoles.
Yes, you see a
Awnings.
clothesline leading, kind of dipping between this house and the building across the street.
I will take out my whip then and use the handle and put it to to either side while it's cold and just kind of like zip line down.
You're just gonna bail immediately.
Yeah. Before I do, I'll tip my hat to the young lady and give her a wink, and away I go.
All right, Misty Step Man. Jim Davis, what's Huell doing?
As soon as he gets a view of outside, he just like whatever alleyway or market stall or whatever is immediately within view on the opposite side of the street down. He just misty steps down there and turns around and looks and sees what Roscoe and see if he can help Roscoe or Braso.
Braso is out the window immediately, turning, giving the wink. You row over to the window, see him down there, and Misty step out of there. Roscoe, what are you doing?
How far down is it?
Dude, it's 15 feet from the second floor.
Yeah, I mean, Roscoe just, sorry, ma'am, and like kind of somersaults and just basically does a superhero landing.
As you are getting ready to jump out and you're like, sorry, ma'am, you see a huge, burly, hairy man coming in with what can only be assumed as a lumberjack's axe, and he just like breaks in and looks over at his wife, and he looks over at you, and you jump out the window and head to the floor. Boom, the three of you are on the floor. You look back up to see this man. I'll get you! You better run! And he's just screaming at the top of his lungs in a furious anger at this point. What are you guys doing?
Really do seem angry everywhere we go nowadays.
Just everywhere we go. Now,
You can't win for losing.
we should head down this alley and
If you
get out of
guys, yeah, if you guys want to duck around an alley or some other buildings, you can, especially being as small as you are, you can easily blend into the midday sun here in whatever city you happen to be in. And in a matter of moments, you guys have separated yourselves, if you will, from your point of origin of this particular teleportation spell.
Well, lads, I think it's appropriate now that we figure out where the heck we are. Where'd you drop us at?
I mean, this kind of magic is always inherently inaccurate. What I did was just chose from all the infinite possibilities that it was available for us to arrive at and selected one that seemed more plausible than the intended destination.
You just guessed again, didn't you?
But that's a very, very hurtful thing to say, cousin.
But is it accurate?
I don't know that it's so much accurate as it's descriptive of the situation as it happened.
So you guys,
He's gonna get us killed one of these times. We're so gonna die.
Oh, cousin. God damn it. All right, we need to find out where the hell we are so we know where we're going.
yeah, you guys find yourselves among us city streets, a bustle with people, and soon after you duck behind a few alleyways, you cut back into a larger street to kind of blend in a little bit better, and you find yourselves in a pretty nice little town square marketplace.
Okay, so Roscoe is going to find the nearest person, like maybe it looks like a street vendor or something like that. Somebody who works here, and he's just going to be like, "Okay, hey, I got really drunk last night, and we arrived on the midnight coach. Where are we right now?"
He kind of looks over at you. You got that drunk?
I'm pretty drunk.
You're in Golden Leaf.
Of course, that's where we're headed. And he turns around. Where the fuck is Golden Leaf?
I would say who's probably the most learned? Probably Braso.
He's traveled a little bit. He might know some places.
I would say that I don't need any kind of checks or anything like that. You would have a good idea of where Golden Leaf is. And Golden Leaf is kind of to the south and east, kind of almost akin to the relationship between Vagram and Doncross, similar to that, but further apart from Sela. And so you know that you're probably you know this off the top of your head. You're a couple days out from the Virial Woods. North of you directly is the Howling Foothills, and then you know that Golden Leaf sits on a rather large river, which is called Dancing Run in this particular region.
Well, cuz you didn't do too bad. We're not that far from Sela. I mean, it was like the same trip we did from Dawnford or Dawncross to Valgrim. We can do that again. That was easy enough.
Are we at least close enough to see Sela?
No, I think we're gonna have to travel a little ways.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh.
One thing you guys are noticing as you're kind of gaining your bearings in the middle of this busy street is that there are a lot of elves here. There are a lot of half elves here. There's a lot of humans here. It seems to be kind of this human-elf blend of culture. You do see some additional species. There's some dragonborn. There's some half-orcs here and there. In fact, one little group really stands out to you guys as the sort of a cluster of these kind of black cloaked-over people that you swear have these just a bird's bill peeking out over their clothing or under their clothing.
That's a strange choice of masks.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a mask, cousin.
Oh.
Don't be like that. It takes all kinds.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's kind of speciesist of me.
Yeah. We don't need to bar any species. Come on.
So, do we want to stay here for a little bit? Do we want to have a talk? Do we need to have another talk, Huell? How are you feeling today on the evil spectrum?
Now, cousin, I greatly resent that remark. You see, there's nothing about my behavior that suggests inclination or proclivities towards evil. I just merely panic easily. And, and as you see, perhaps we should just find ourselves some lighthearted shenanigans.
Well, Huell, anybody who's been around us knows that that's inevitable, okay? But what we need to take care of right now, before the lighthearted shenanigans can resume, is you literally walked up and said, Grindlebrew killed Doris, and I helped a little. So,
yes.
I have never known you to freak out and then help murder someone.
Well, I didn't see it so much as murder as I figured it was another, sacrifice for Grindlebrew's deity. It's sanctioned and such.
I look around to see if anyone's overhearing this conversation. Cousin Roscoe, I think the term you're looking for is Gregored.
Yeah, he Gregored her. That's the term, which I believe that's revenge ordained by a god, right? When you Gregor someone.
When you certainly. When Doris was Gregor, what was I supposed to do? Gregor's kin, right? We swore him in. So, if I would just do the same for either one of you, cuz. So I don't know why you're mad at me.
Oh, don't you dare use that on me! Don't you use the.
Oh, I would remind you, Roscoe, that this is not terribly long from the point that you were vomiting. You were so drunk. So I would say that
I'm still drunk.
Certainly smashed. Or I'm sorry, Will, what is it, pissed? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, you'd be pissed, you'd be trolleyed.
You're still trolleyed at this point.
I'm in a trolley full of pissed right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Which is what I will now use for the rest of my life. So you're quite trolleyed at this point.
Absolutely
as
trolleyed,
you're having
mate.
these arguments.
You better be glad that I am not in my right capacity. Otherwise, no, I'm good. Otherwise, I might have to run you in, sir.
Roscoe, now that just is a terrible way to injure our relationship as cousins. I just don't. Well, we all know that the whole reason that you invited Grindlebrew Gregor on the place was to do him in. So I don't see why we're drudging up old ground like this.
Well, that was not the original intent. It was just to see what would happen.
Oh, wink, wink. Come on now. That was very much. The implication was that he was not going to make it out alive.
I have to side with Huell on this one. Yeah, I was pretty certain you invited him to see him off. But you had certain rules, like we couldn't do it specifically ourselves.
I am wounded, like I have never been.
So I mean, really, Doris's death is on your hands, Roscoe. I don't see how that.
I know that we just teleported halfway across the country, but that is a leap, sir. That is a leap. Okay.
I have to side with Roscoe. Point Roscoe. I have to agree with Roscoe. That is a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
Going to Gregoring someone and helping a little to.
Okay, just so we can move on. We're wiping the slate clean. No Gregoring, no Dorising, no Grindlebrewing.
None of that.
We should probably swear off dwarves for good at this point.
I think that's best. I don't have any particular affection for Valgrim, and we should perhaps stay clear there. But now that we're all equals pequals, clean slates and all, then why not just see where we're at and what we can do?
Well, I agree. Now the hijinks can resume. And then he turns over and just like throws up again. Okay, I think I'm good now.
As Roscoe on his back as he's vomiting.
As you're comforting Roscoe here in the middle of the streets, which is somebody's retching in the middle of the streets because they're trolley. You know, that's nothing big, nothing here in the city. You guys hear something come up to you, and it sort of says, "Broom, why did you bring broom carrying it?"
What the fuck?
What's that?
And you turn over to see one of the little bird folk now that you have a better idea and you can see them a little bit better. It's clearly a bird folk. You can see the feet. They are clawed like a bird. The face that is speaking at you is clearly a bird-like face, though it is still a small humanoid that is standing a little bit taller than you guys.
You want to buy? What, you want to buy our broom? What?
And it points over at the broom that Huell is holding in his hand.
What? He's a chimney sweep. What do you want with it?
It's not dusty.
How drunk am I, guys?
This person might. It's the broom is merely decorative and symbolic in nature. It carries no functional value. You see, it's barely would sweep up a ashtray, let alone city streets.
It looks over, and you see at this point the gaggle of bird folk that were kind of gathered in the corner are all eyeing you kind of like this with their little bird movements, and you see them turn over, and like a couple of these little bird folk come over and they begin to hassle you about the broom.
What's with the broom? What is your fetish with brooms? You want to clean things, sweep?
And it says, "Seen broom before?"
You saw
Nice
that broom before.
Broom like broom, yes.
Well, there's a great many varieties of broom. This one here is bears the distinction of being in our possession. But if you need one of your own, I'd be happy to point you in the direction of a broom vendor or perhaps a small sweep merchant.
That's good thinking.
It kind of pauses for a second. Buy broom.
How much?
What is the price? And as this thing continues to talk, you're getting this really weird vibe, not just from the pitches and changes in its voice, but it almost sounds like it is imitating very distinct individual voices.
Are you making
And
fun
it's
of
like
us?
chopping together bits of these different sentences.
Yeah, are you like making fun of all of us at the same time? What's going on there?
Not making fun of you.
I'm sure that we'd be happy to part with the broom for grand princess sum of 9,000 gold crowns.
You see them kind of stop, turn, and shake their head, and they say, the one that has approached you, "Why price so high? If just chimney broom."
It carries a great deal of sentimental value to me and my kinfolk. You see, we are halflings, and amongst the halfling culture, hearth and home is sacred to our people, and the broom is symbolic of that hearth and home. That's why we carry it with us. So wherever we are indeed at home.
Cleanliness and godliness. Mm-hmm.
Broom is magic.
Symbolic.
Broom flies.
Oh. Wait,
Cousins, I think they know something. Do you how much do you have coin? You don't have coin, there's no point talking to us.
Oh, yeah.
About broom.
We have coins. Lots of coins.
Well, I take 9,000 of them for the broom.
You see them kind of huddle over together. Like a couple of them pull out like little bags, and you see them counting. It's clearly not enough. It's not even close to being enough. And eventually they reach out and they offer you the bag. 4 broom. Lots of coins.
well, how many? I mean, this is a negotiation, so we gave our offer. What's your offer?
976 gold pieces equivalencies.
While they were counting up their coins, Huell's going to detect magic and see if there's anything on them that's actually worth a trade.
Yeah, as you begin to cast, a couple of them kind of take a step, they kind of look at you like you're going into cast, and then they kind of relax, probably recognizing it here in this city, a fairly common spell. And yet nothing is coming back or radiating any type of magic.
That's unfortunate.
You fellows that flock together seem to be short of 0.
They kind of look over at you. All the coins we have for trade.
Well, I mean, cousin, is that a good deal?
Now, that's not a very good deal at all. There's very little that we could do with all that amount of coin. We need at least an order of magnitude greater in order to part with this gift. And
they
it's
just look over at you like they're excited. They are like, dude, you can just read their body language.
yeah. In halfling, I'm going to tell them to hop on the broom. We're busting out of here.
cousin in halfling, maybe we could just charge them for rides.
We can Uber them around.
Like 10 gold for a ride or something.
We'd love to ride. Please take for a ride.
Do Roscoe and Braso get on?
Yeah, we're gonna hop on.
We're gonna bust out of there.
Yeah.
Although the idea of Kin Kuber is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys get on the broom, and then just in a second, they're getting ready to hop on, like they're putting their coins away, like, cool, we're going for a ride, and then you guys just take off and leave them in the dust. If any of you look back, it's kind of hard to read a bird's face, but you can tell just the utter crushing disappointment of not being able to make something happen in a trade for this flying broom. And as you take off, the others that hadn't joined you that are still in the gaggle, they're kind of jumping up and down in excitement. They're just so excited to see somebody fly like that. Literally, just the sight of you flying has them caught up in a buzz of excitement.
Huell considers going back and just casting fly on one of them for 900 gold, but we're gonna
Cousins,
maybe later.
I feel a little bad now. I feel like we Gregored them inside a little bit.
Oh, well, we just can't water down the phrase that much. We've got to keep it pure. And I prefer to think of it that we healed them, perhaps, out of their. But we didn't come away with anything shiny or.
That's still about right, though. I mean,
well, their souls might be crushed, but it seems as though they're used to disappointment, perhaps.
I don't know if that makes it right. We could have made their day. We could have given them some rides. You know, we really don't have a whole lot anything better to do. I mean, we're going to save the universe eventually. We'll get around to it, but there's no rush.
Actually, this is Roscoe's broom, right? Like Roscoe's always been the one that's driven it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've always assumed it's Roscoe's broom.
I mean, I never thought of it really as Roscoe's. It's just kind of the parties.
Yeah,
but you know, he's
You
drunk
usually
right
do
now,
drive.
so you don't want him driving.
So
not right now.
So as you guys lift off, you get to get a nice little view here of the city, and as you kind of peek up just not terribly far, just even at the edge of the buildings here, you can begin to see a distinct section of the city. It's incredible. It is like literally looking down at a drawn map where people have colored in different colors. The main section you guys are in kind of wraps around in a sort of like a flat arcing phase up to the center, and as you go northward, you can begin and you're rising, you can see the river running along kind of the running along the east side of the city, and several canals actually run through that bit of the city. A large, beautiful tower-like structure kind of is heading towards the back, and then as it goes beyond that, you can see that kind of dip into a more poverty-stricken area, more a less refined section of the city, even towards the back end.
So, cousins, and speaking in generalities, I kind of know where we are, but you think maybe we should seek out a guide to get us to see Lassisi faster?
I think we should seek out a guide and perhaps a small, out-of-the-way place to recuperate from yesterday's misadventures.
Mm-hmm. I won't miss those adventures. No. Yeah, let's do that, please.
Roscoe could probably use a dark room and a bed too about now. Maybe some cool water.
Mm-hmm. You better be glad I sat on the back. I don't think I'm done.
So what are you guys doing here? Are you go back down into the marketplace? Or are you gonna fly off and to find a tavern? Or are you gonna leave the city? Give me an idea of what you're doing here.
Let's go down. Let's go back down to the marketplace and ask around. We'll go land somewhere where those bird people aren't.
Huell is actually going to keep an eye out for the bird people.
Okay, you're specifically kind of on edge, looking for them because they were so interested in the.
I'm gonna see if they'll perhaps bargain for just a momentary flight.
They might. So yeah, you fly over the market. The center is big. You kind of disappear over the buildings to make the bird folk, whatever those creatures were, kind of lose sight of you before kind of swooping back down and landing. You did fly over the city though. So what are you guys going to do with this broom? Because pretty much everybody in the marketplace kind of put eyes on you that you have a flying broom. Are you guys just going to carry it around? What are we doing here?
Who doesn't have a flying broom?
Who doesn't have a flying broom? Okay, sure. Some flying halflings carrying a broom through a major city. What could?
It's not the broom. We're witches.
Yeah. And to demonstrate it, Huell's going to go over to where if the bird people are still around, and he's going to be like, "Apologies earlier. I'm easily skittish. Let me be honest with you. The broom does hold a great sentimental value to me, but if flight is your objective, then I'm your halfling, and I'd be happy to gift you with the power of flight so that you can escape Earth's boundaries for a brief period of time, but it is nevertheless exhilarating."
Do you like? They're shocked that you left and flew off, and you've already circled back to find them again. So they're exciting. Like they're clapping as you land, and you're giving your little pitch. Absolutely. if you want to offer them rides, I would say that there are 10 of them, and each of them will be thrilled to give you 20 silver pieces each to go on a short little jaunt, like a little pony ride with the flying broom.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the broom. I was talking about using my spell slot to cast fly on one of them for an hour for like 300 gold.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna offer to make one of them fly, they begin to start bickering amongst themselves, and
I can do it to two gentlemen and ladies of the bird folk too.
they're just bark, and they're bickering, and it's really strange because you can make out the words that they're saying to each other, and they're communicating in common with all these kind of weird fluctuations. So it sounds like just this large audience of like men, women, children, just everything just kind of screaming at each other, talking back and forth. But in between there's these weird clangs and tings and drips that they're emulating, which you can only assume to be their names. And eventually two of them kind of come up and present their 50 gold to you each.
That's all they got.
That's what the two that won the argument will offer to pay you.
The 100, so 100 total.
100 gold pieces for a couple of fly spells. It's not bad. These guys, and it's every coin that these particular.
Then Huell will spend 2 hours helping them fly.
Okay, so you're going to do that for a bit. Now, is the rest of the group drunk Roscoe and Dr. Braso Huell? What are you guys going to be doing while he's doing this? Because you guys are in the market town, and he's beginning to kind of attract some attention as he's kind of doing this for the Kinku, and some people are just kind of looking on and walking by and taking notice. Are you guys going
to point out to Huell, hey cousin, perhaps you can downsell a few on that levitate.
And they can drag the others behind them. Like the flying ones can drag the other ones.
Maintaining my mental focus on two such powerful spells is beyond my capabilities, gentlemen. So at this moment, I've chose locomotion over a static mid-air experience.
That's smart. It's more money. Well, cousin, while he's doing that, do we want to maybe try to find a guide, or I don't know. What do you think? Just look around the market?
I think I think it's a good idea and a terrible idea at the same time. You know what happened the last time we left him alone?
Oh shit! He might Gregor one of these guys. Yeah. I guess we'll just keep a lookout. Make sure nobody gets too handsy for the broom or anything.
Maybe we can just stay local and ask and keep an eye out on Huell and these bird folk.
A couple of hours goes by, a couple of spell slots for Huell. Some thrilled and exhilarated Kinku are your new best friends. Still trying to bargain for the broom, but you know, they're thrilled, the couple that were able to fly. The others are chirping away, asking them, you know, how it was. And you guys can go about the marketplace in search of your guide, or even try to find a tavern to rest at if you like. Or you can just get on your broom and fly out of the city.
I think the biggest thing I would inquire about, is there a particular tavern we should look in to find, you know, to find a guide from here to CLCC, or if maybe there's caravans that go that way or something.
Yeah, can we be inquiring about that while Huell was doing his thing?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can ask around, and in no time, you know that there is actually there is a set of elves. Luthieus, who is an elf from CLCC, and he has some short little chubby apprentice that he keeps with him that are both from CLCC. They would be able to probably guide you. Also, the folk here, you know, they're like, yeah, they're kind of woodsy folk, if you will. They make that journey from time to time.
Lothesis was the name?
Luthieus.
Cousin, that Luthieus character sounds like a good way to go. We should probably try and hire him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's from the place, so hopefully he'll be able to find his way home. I'm with you, cuz.
And they're staying at the Fire Ferret Inn.
Oh, the Fire Ferrets. They're my favorite team.
Well, let's go pay them a visit.
You think they got real ferrets?
I don't know. If they do, I'm going to be scared.
I
don't like ferrets.
yeah, if that's where you guys want to head on foot, it's it's not terribly far from here. This is the large city, and the way that it's been built has been easy to traverse. So very clean, crisp lines put in this particular city. 6th Street, 5th Street, 1st Street, all the way down. It's really really organized, and you realize that this place is flowing with money, and so even in the kind of poor district here, the marketplace kind of borderlines both of those. And so in no time, you guys find yourselves at the Fire Ferret Inn. As you walk into this apartment, you see pretty standard fare for a tavern in a big city. There is roasted boar smoking in the air that is bring off very pleasant smells. Barmaidens are running around delivering everybody's drinks. And at the bar is a kind of a burly looking elf, if you will, if elves can even look burly to you guys compared to humans. And he's kind of got long, ragged hair. And yeah, he greets you on your way in, and you guys can, grab a table, ask questions, whatever you'd like.
We will, I guess, let's grab a table and invite this rugged looking burly elf, if they can be such a thing, over to our table and offer to buy him a drink. I am Braso Huell. This is my cousin Roscoe Threestone, and this is my other cousin Huell.
It's been a while since we've seen halflings in here. We get all sorts, of course, but not halflings for at least a few months. You enjoying the spring weather?
Oh, we are sort of.
It's spring now. Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's good to get out.
Feels like it was just winter the other day.
It really does, doesn't it, cousin?
He kind of looks over at Roscoe on the end there. He notices a bit of vomit on your shoulder from where you've retched a few times. And are you sure you're ready for another round already? It seems that you've had quite the time.
It's true, but I figure I could just have one more and then pass out. So,
well, we certainly have rooms for that, though. If you'll be getting sick of the rooms, we'll have to charge you extra.
Well, I mean, if they're good rooms, I won't get sick of them, so you don't have to charge me extra. Nope, I'm good.
You know what they say, a little bit of the hair from the ferret to bit you.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. And so he'll soon serve you guys. What brings you into our fine establishment today?
We're looking for a guide.
A guide?
Yeah, we're heading over to Sisi. We have some business out that way.
Oh, you must be looking for Luthien.
We are, indeed.
Yes, absolutely. Luthien is about, but he's been known to offer his services and travels to Sisi, though not many are welcome in the Elvish Kingdom without invite first.
Oh well,
we have an invitation of sorts. We just
we've actually been sent by Rathilion, the powerful mage.
Yeah.
Can't say I know who that is. But as long as you have business in Sisi, I'm sure Luthien will be able to provide his services to you. I think it's been a few months since he's been up that way anyways.
Well, it's perfect. Where is he?
He's out and about at the moment.
Oh. Wow.
I'm sure he'll return. In fact, here comes his apprentice now. And enter Will Jones. So, Will, you've been taking care of some business here, doing a bit of errands as Luthien is out taking care of some other business. And at this point, the bartender, Maxis, pulls you over and he says, "These little halflings here are looking for a guide over to Sisi. You think your master might be up for a little journey this spring?"
My eyes go wide, and the halflings will see the young boy for an elf at least, Campus. He is fairly short for an elf as well, being of a young age. Big freckles all over his face and a mop of frizzy hair, bow on his back as he comes in. It's like, Oh, well, I'm sure the master would be very pleased. Very pleased indeed. Oh, I haven't seen halflings ever before in my entire life. You're so very small.
Pleasure is all yours.
My name is Campus. Pleased to meet you.
What a delight and a pleasure, Campus. How do you do?
Oh, I'm much better for seeing you. So, where do you come from?
Well, over in the land of Nod, there's a diminutive folk that we are, of course, part of. Now, they are themselves known as a wily and fey-like bunch that inhabit dreams and end up at the end of rainbows very often.
Whoa, that's crazy. Isn't that just grand?
Yeah.
Where are you going to? You're going to see Lasisi. Is that right?
That is, and my cousin here is having a little bit of fun with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love having fun.
Yeah, I'd love to have fun on a rainbow too, but that's that. Huell, come on, man.
Excuse me, we haven't had any. I'm sorry. Got distracted.
Also, thank you to Evafo for those $20. Thank you, my friend. The 20 for the D20 gods.
We
Beautiful.
appreciate it. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you much.
I will take that that 20. We'll use it later. Put it right in the pocket.
That's it. Yes, and my artwork is by, there it is, Kim Van Deun, Sketchfair on the Twitters. Highly recommend.
She is amazing. We
Absolutely.
love having her here on the show. So she rushed something together for Will. I think she did a fantastic job, as she always does.
I grin at them with a kind of stupid grin on my face. Great. So, do you want to go and see the master? Master Lufius. He can show you all the way to CC and all the way back again as well.
Oh well, that's good because that's what we need. We need to go to Sila Sisi. Yeah.
You want to see Lasisi? Okay. And he grins and just turns and starts coming out. Every 2 seconds, he'll check back over his shoulder to make sure that you're still there. Like a puppy trying to lead the way.
Does Campus partake in the beverages here?
Oh, you can't drink? I'll have a milk.
Of course.
Warm.
So, have you yourself done much traveling back and forth between
No.
Goldleaf and
Well,
Sealess?
I came. I'll tell you for why. I came all the way from Silasisi once when I was just a wee little halfling. Not a halfling. I'm an elf. You're halflings. But I haven't been back since. No.
Well, how long ago was that?
Oh, years ago now. Must have been at least 10 years.
Oh my.
It is a while.
So what does that make you, like 14?
Probably something like that, yes. I haven't been keeping count, I have to say.
So how long have you been apprenticing?
Oh, that's another question that involves numbers now, isn't it, my friend? Can you all count? Being halflings and all, can you go above big numbers?
Well, yeah, to an extent.
I'm a professor from a very distinguished academic
really now?
place of learning. Of course, I can count.
That's just grand.
Yeah.
My master says that I am numerically challenged.
Roscoe here is a lawkeeper.
He is, absolutely.
I can count to 5 to 10.
Well, that's very clever.
That's impressive. Well, the master will definitely sort you out of any questions that you have. He's the most well-abled person I've ever met.
Our cousin Huell is a master arcanist.
That's true. My consciousness has only touched the very fringes of the flat circle that is time, and therefore I'm able to perceive multiple realities at the same time, therefore enabling me to count an infinite number of digits.
What were any of those words?
Carries a stack of mushrooms with him.
What, are you speaking halfling then?
Well, it's strange are the pathways towards enlightenment, cousin.
I thought you said you were out of those.
I don't have any more. That's fine. Suffice to say, I'll have to find some jerky or pumpkin seeds of some kind to satiate my appetite.
Oh, Master Lucius makes that. Out of
Well,
turkeys.
Well, then let's make haste.
As you guys are having this conversation, you see campus. You see your master Lucius walk in. The rest of you guys see this kind of haggard. There's really no other way to describe this elf. He's very haggard and kind of gaunt a little bit. He looks much older, not as old as Rothillian did, but yeah, he's seen some years. He's seen some wear and tear, sunspots, and just aging from being out in the sun and the wilds have certainly taken their toll on him over the past few hundred years that he has been a ranger here in the city of Golden Leaf and beyond. And he comes in, and he's carrying a boar, and he kind of slaps it behind the bar. He grasps Maxis. They kind of give their little greeting of a handshake. And you notice a lot of resemblance between the two now that they're kind of standing next to each other. And you kind of can hear him talking to Maxis in front of you guys. The attacks have gotten worse. 3 miles off the east bank. I can't believe that band has come this far. We'll be chasing them for weeks, no doubt. City guards paying a good sum of gold to see them done, and I think the boy's old enough, for certain. And he kind of looks over at you. Campus, come here, boy.
Oh, okay, Master Lucius.
Lucius.
That's right.
How many times have I told you this? It's Lucius.
I haven't been counting, Master.
You've got to pay more attention.
Sorry?
All right, boy? A decade under my apprentice hood, and you haven't... You've got to start counting. Numbers are not that hard.
That's right, Master. Some numbers are very small, some are very big.
The knoll attacks have gotten worse. How do you feel about a hunt, boy?
Oh, I loves me a hunt.
Good. Then we'll leave in the morning.
Where to?
On the hunt.
I've never been there before. I slightly others.
Campus, gather your things.
Oh,
We're going on a hunt in the morning.
before I forget, sir, these 3 young halflings here, they might be old, I'm not too sure. They are looking for a guide. Did I tell you that? For Tatsila Sisi.
He kind of looks over, and for the first time, he kind of makes eye contact with you. What is your business with the elves?
I mean, we need to discuss certain problems that have befallen them.
Ah, so you're sent as a royal messenger. From what town?
Have you heard of Rothillian,
I have not heard of Rothillian, no.
the great elven mage?
Dawncross.
Yeah, Don Cross. Yeah, he sent us.
Dawncross.
Has there been, you
Oh,
noticed
from
anything
Dawncross.
happening in Sela CC?
Not by my elven eyes, no.
Not by my elven eyes, neither.
Well, we've heard tale of a great woe that has befallen, so we were sent to assist them.
3 halflings.
Indeed.
Assist the great elves of Selasisi.
And a whole lot
Well,
of
we've
heart.
already assisted the dwarves of Bagram.
Yeah. We
There
saved
would have
their
been an
ass.
omen in the sky, pillar of purple light, a few months back.
And there's no need to be disparaging towards us just because we're halfling.
Absolutely. 'Cause
Didn't mean it that way, I assure you. It's just...
Oh no, he did. He's quite racist.
Yeah, I'm sure it was just. A
He
small
kind of
slip
cuts
up.
his eyes over at you. Like, what the hell?
Thank you.
I tell you
Campus.
what. Campus boy, do you remember the way? I know it's been a while since you've made the trek over the Howling Foothills, but I assume you can get them through the Valiant Woods to...
Oh
Great.
yes. Oh yes. It was only 10 years ago, but I remember it as if it were 9 years ago.
Then it's settled, boy. And you see him reach in. He pulls out 100 gold pieces. He slaps them down. It is a huge sum of money to just casually throw at you. Traveling expenses, if anything comes up, there are no towns between Golden Leaf and Sela CC. He is just giving you 100 gold pieces to get the fuck out of there.
I start
he is
licking
bidding you
my
on your way.
face.
I have business to attend to. Tell your father that it's been a pleasure and that your apprenticeship is not done in its entirety. But
Oh no.
come back after you've delivered these halflings to CC. I'm sure a week off in the wilds will do you quite well.
I'll take a week off in the wilds, I will, sir. And I'll come back and I'll try my best at that test again. One of these years I'm going to get it.
I'm sure you'll pass it this time.
Quick
You know, as they
halfling
say,
huddle.
76th time is lucky.
All right, let's huddle up.
Can't even get that high.
In halfling. Okay, one moment there, campus. This is really odd. That other elf we don't know just paid this half elf to take us to see the CC. I'm a little nervous.
I mean, I think it was just for like traveling expenses, but it also looks like he kind of paid him off and wanted to get him out of his life.
Like I know the area in generalities, and there are no towns between here and there. There's nothing for him to spend money on.
Well, maybe he meant like spent money before he leaves.
Maybe. I think he really is just trying to get rid of him.
That's
Roscoe,
how it
like,
seems to me.
Yeah,
He's
Roscoe
like picking
pops
his
head up
nose.
Yeah, Roscoe pops his head up and looks campus up and down. Like, does he have any weapons or anything?
I've got a bow on my back. I kind of look over at you as I'm like accidentally poke my eye a little bit.
Okay.
He's looking at me.
Guys, I don't know, man. I think this kid's gonna come out with us and get Gregored. Like, first thing.
So the waterway, does it go to see the CC?
It cuts away. It cuts away into the mountains, kind of further north and east. So over the Howling Foothills will be the fastest path to get there. And the foothills are pretty open. They're foothills. There's not really a path that you'll take. And then after that, you'll go into the Valiant Woods, the Virial Woods. Forgive me. You'll go over to the Virial Woods, and they are, from what you can gather, Braso, they're think big red oaks, just a huge tree type of woods. And in the center of the Sela Sisi is supposed to peek out above and beyond all of it.
My friend Don Durham for that $20 donation. Thank you, my friend.
Don, we appreciate the love, my man.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so here's the only thing. He is an elf, and we do probably need an elf to at least get close enough to plead our case.
I look over
and this
Lucius.
this Lucius fella seems like he doesn't particularly want to help us. He didn't take us very seriously.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have this campus fella. Maybe he can show us where there's a caravan going that way.
Yeah.
And he seems less of a stick in the mud than some of the others.
That is true.
Oh man. I feel like I'm gonna have to save this kid's ass like every turn.
Maybe. But he looks like he can handle a bow at least.
Yeah, but he also almost poked his eye out while picking his nose.
I'm pulling back the bowstring and it like twangs in my eye. Like, oh.
Uh-huh.
We all have to start somewhere.
Yeah, he's a dead eye for sure. You can tell.
Mhm.
Well, but still, he might be able to get us in the door at least. So, I think it's worth it.
Welcome aboard, campus.
Oh, yeah, we heard there mention your father. Who would that be?
My father? Oh, where is my dad? I haven't seen him in years. I haven't heard from him either, but he's back at Sela Sisi.
Okay. What does he do back there?
No idea.
Who is he?
He doesn't talk. Never writes, but I don't let it get down too much, Pretty upbeat about it all.
Terrible. Family needs to stick together.
Oh, well. I got sent off here when I was just a boy. And, just get some skills into me because, they said I was a bit bad.
Well, you're in luck. Braso right here is skilled in many outdoorsy type skills and is himself a professor and so can perhaps help you in passing this exam.
That sounds grand. Yes, I am very bad at exams.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can, I guess, take solace in this campus. I mean, my master always taught me any fault of a student is in the master himself. So if you haven't gotten it before now, maybe you just need a new teacher, right?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that before, but that sounds very clever. Yes, I would like that a lot. I'm a quick learner.
Obviously, for an elf.
Hmm?
What?
He definitely didn't hear. Oh.
At this point, you guys, you see Maxis kind of lean into the conversation and pull Huell aside because he seems to be the one kind of leading the conversation here. And he says, I got to tell you, the boy is certainly capable, much more than he seems on the outside. He's an interesting lad, but he will suit you just fine as far as scouts go.
So you'll actually see that while Campus has had like struggles like pulling back the bow, he'll see something out the window like a target, and just like pull back the bow, and magic is drawn into the string, and it fires out, and it gets the target, right between the eyes, and he's like, "Whoa, that was good."
Okay, well, yes, that
I
was
meant
good.
to do that.
If you can do that every time that you mean to, then awesome. We will be just fine.
I
We'll be right
almost
as rain.
definitely can't.
Okay, well, now we're back to square one.
Well, I'm good at one.
Oh, well, it's a place to start.
I'll be right along now. I've got all my things.
I'm good
Just,
at one.
I carry. He's got his backpack on him. I carry all that I might need in case I need to leave sometime. On my backpack.
Oh, clever.
Well, do we want to leave immediately, or we want to give Roscoe?
I get
the night-
chased out of town a lot.
Maybe we should set out in the morning. Give us a chance, because we kind of cut out of there pretty quick.
We
You
did
can all-
indeed.
You can all sleep in my room.
Well, that sounds preferable to sleeping out here in the common room.
It's got one bed, but you're quite small.
We sleep sideways on it and stacked up like logs.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Okay. Well, maybe you will.
He like fully intends.
Do we trust this guy to sleep in the same room?
Fully intends to watch you while you sleep. It's just so sweet how you breathe.
I'm curious about these howling hills we have to pass through and talk of gnolls and whether or not the two are related. And might stay in the common room for a while to talk to Maxius, is it?
Yeah, Maxis.
Maxis. And that's really kind of it. Because Huell's tired too, I believe. He's
Helping a little takes a lot out of a halfling.
It certainly does,
So, gentlemen, you're so Huell's gonna hang out here. The rest of you guys, Roscoe's still pretty smashed. He's trolleyed really badly. So thank you for that, Will Jones. So are you guys going to hang out with Huell and try to gather more information, or go to bed? It's like 2 p.m. at this point.
Well, no, Roscoe is just going to continue to have fun and drink and just go to bed, earlier than he normally would. But
I make their beds.
It's still in the afternoon.
Braso will kind of go out and look for provisions. Like, we don't have to do anything with that, but that's what he'll do in the intervening time. Make sure we have enough provisions for the journey.
The city is a bustle, Braso. So any trade, any magic shops are here. One particular shop that you were rather fond of because you've seen previously, and it's kind of strange how you've seen it previously, is called the Magic Mistler, run by Rendragel and his family of gnomes. Something interesting about this particular shop is that it's literally like a franchise in that they have these shops in several large cities throughout the land, and they all have a kind of a way of getting back and reaching into extra dimensional space for any of the actual magic items, so that they all have all the same magic items available all the time.
I would take
shops.
Huell with me and I wouldn't tell him exactly what we're doing, but I will try really hard to convince Huell that he has to come with me for provisions. I'm going to need his assistance. I would definitely take him by that shop.
Cousin, there was a fascinating discussion about different mating habits and rituals of the various knolls of the hills. I don't see why we're having to be out here in this god awful heat. Oh my god!
Yeah, but if we get halfway to Cece and we run out of supplies, we're gonna be hungry. Do you want that kid hunting for us?
Right, is there a problem with him? He seems a touch slow, but it could just be he's young. I've never been around elder children that much.
He's like suddenly appeared. Campus is like super
eating slugs and turnips.
He's like super stealthy. And he may even have cast Pass Without Trace to do this. But
Shit.
he's like right next to you.
Passive perception is like 11.
No, I am. I'm not that grand at hunting. You might want to get some food, else you might starve to death, and then where would that leave us?
Trust me, Cousin Huell, I have the most marvelous surprise planned for you. You're gonna like this. It'll be worth the heat, I promise.
All right, but you know how I feel about surprises.
I know. Don't remind me or Doris.
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
I tend to panic.
I think I know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah. That's true. I might not want to startle you.
Don't startle me.
Hey, campus. I'm warning you. Don't startle our Cousin Huell. Just
Okay, don't. I know I won't. But if you guys want to steal some shit, I know where you can do it.
Whoa, easy.
That's something to do on the way out of town, not...
Just trying to get down to the lingo. You know, I hear that you halflings are always stealing stuff. That's what Lucius has told me about you.
Well, that's a hurtful and wounding stereotype.
Yeah, you know that I'm like a lawman, right?
No. You told him like 2 seconds ago.
Roscoe's with us as well.
He's over his shoulder.
He saw Campus like leave, and he's just been following him.
Oh man, I think the James Leslie flat $20 cheer as well, just because I love the show.
You guys are traveling throughout the hot sun. It's really not that hot. It's actually quite pleasant outside, but Huell just seems to be particularly a fragile.
He doesn't like the heat.
Yeah, he's just not having it today. Huell, you hear something that just rings in your ears. You hear a woman calling out, "Come place your bets. Come place your bets. A game of chance, a game of cups. Come and win a pretty coin. Come to one, come on." And she's kind of gathering people around. And as you're kind of approaching, a small crowd has gathered around a woman who is doing exactly what you think, man. She is playing a game of cups with these turtle shells, cup and balls. And so she's doing the cup and balls game. Guess which ball is under.
I'm not very good at this cup and balls game, let me tell you. I have lost.
Don't worry, when you get older, you get better at it.
I've never won a game of cup and balls in my life.
I saw
Just
a
can't
scroll
cup 'em
of
right.
2 elves in a cup one time, and I've sworn off ever since then.
Campus, here's the thing. One day you're going to find a nice lady, and she's going to teach you how to play proper. Okay? But until then, you shouldn't get good at cup and balls.
Oh, well, it's a girl I'm sweet on from here. You know, Liz. You never know.
Oh, is she around here somewhere?
Maybe.
And Huell was gonna look. I got the impression that like Braso was escorting him somewhere, like arm around the shoulders, kind of.
Braso, what do you do? I mean, are you just kind of leading him along?
I want to try and take him to the gnome magic shop.
The Magic Missler.
Magic Missler, yep. The gnome magic shop. Magic Missler.
All right.
So if you let
all my games,
there, we will find ourselves outside of the Magic Missler.
And so, he's kind of leading you along, but you're on this sort of busy street, and this lady is she's working it, and you can see her handing out coins. Oh, you win again! 10 more gold pieces, and she's handing out coins to those who are placing their bets in gambling. And
that's definitely a plant. That's definitely a plant, cousins.
Huell's game of choice was always cards, but if there's a crowd in unattended pockets.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Maybe we'll see.
How
Where is this crowd and the woman
Dude,
as
it's
opposed
just
to the
literally like
gnomish
you're
magic shop?
You're going down the street, and there's people walking here and there along these cobbled streets, but it's literally just like a table that's been kind of set up on the side of these in front of one of the buildings. It's literally just a table there, and it's got probably a dozen, 2 dozen people or so kind of gathered around, and she's playing the cups and balls kind of gambling game. Most of the time you've seen these, they've been cons, but sometimes they're real.
Yeah, he was just gonna stop, and he's just gonna do the slow walk, right? Like if Braso's like talking and walking, he's gonna do the slow walk, drop back, and then when one of them isn't looking, he's just gonna like stop. So he's on the edge of the crowd, just kind of watching.
So yeah, you're watching this, and she's working, and she has an elf in front of her who's playing, and she's doing this, and you see her. She pays him out. He wins the first hand, 10 gold. He wins the second hand, 10 more gold. He doubles his bet. He wins the third one. She has given out 40 gold at this piece, and people are cheering every time louder. Oh, and she's which one? Left, right, or center? Which one? And he's pointing it out every time, and he seems to be kind of cheering along with the crowd. Give me a perception check, Huell.
$15.
There's something oddly familiar about this particular elf. You kind of glance over from behind. Something is really, really, really familiar about him. And as you kind of lean just instinctively to kind of see the face, you recognize this man. This isn't a half-elf that you used to gamble with back in Nîmes by the name of Silkus.
Silkus.
And Silkus was known to run a con or two.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he's ran a couple cons with Huell himself.
Yeah, Huell ducks back down out of sight as soon as he sees it and moves to position himself so that the crowd is between him and Silkus.
Yeah.
Where Braso and the rest of them? I'm assuming they walked on.
If they, you guys tell me, did y'all walk on or did y'all stop when Huell kind of stopped?
Well, I was in the very back, so I probably would have seen Huell stop.
I walk into Huell from.
I would have stopped because I was trying to get him to go to the magic missiler.
Yeah, so I mean, they've kind of stopped and they've walked back over to you. And at this point, the elf is making the half elf is, oh, thank you, and he's cheering on. I'm gonna take my winnings from you, woman. Thank you very much. And he's at this point, Huell. It is very obvious what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
He is the plant. This woman is about to take everybody's money, and he is. It was just a beautiful setup. He's played off as a stranger who gambled. It is the old 1, 2, 3 con. With this particular game. And so at this point, Silkus kind of turns and ducks out of the crowd, and you can see him making his planned exit.
That Silkus is always winning. He's so good.
He does have a magic touch. What's everybody else doing? I'm curious.
Staring up at you with wide eyes. I'm about the same height as you guys.
Yeah.
And Roscoe is just looking at Huell like,
now, cousin, you understand that my weakness is for cards and dice, not necessarily these buskers, parlor tricks, and the like. Although I do appreciate the artistry that goes into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't actually say anything, cousin.
And listen, you don't have to say anything. Your words, they carry the force of the swords that you carry. When you don't say them out loud, they're much more powerful. I can tell, Roscoe, what you're thinking, and I got to be honest with you. I can't believe that you would place that sort of thought in my own head that I might be thinking of doing something untowards over here.
I think Roscoe's seen you in action when it comes to crowds before. We know you got a soft spot for crowds, Huell.
Listen,
the only reason I've observed things over the years.
I prefer the anonymity that comes with a big crowd.
You think I forgot the Blueberry Festival? Huh? The pumpkin smash?
I'm not.
Uh-huh.
That was purely accidental, and I did not intend for all of that unfortunate blueberry mess. I didn't.
Campus is just like, huh?
There was the
Huh?
New Moon Harvest.
Huh?
Uh-huh. There was that one too. Yeah.
The New Moon Harvest was a harmless prank. I don't see why anybody was upset. What's the little fire at a harvest festival?
Half the crop burned.
We survived the winter.
Yeah, well,
Then there was the Father Winter's Day celebration.
Listen,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I see what's going on. Where's this gnomish peddler that you wanted us to see, Braso? I'm feeling awfully persecuted, and
It's okay. I once started a fire.
well,
and Huell gives Campus a hug.
Are you picking his pocket from that 100 gold that he just got from?
Unless we're trying to mutually pick each other's pockets.
You both end up
doesn't-
with exactly 100 gold pieces again.
But like, you know, when someone is way more into a hug than you are, he like takes it and he like smells your hair.
He hasn't washed since being in the bloody fountain.
He's like, it does smell like blueberries.
While you guys are having this conversation, it is broken up by a voice calling over to you, Huell. Well, if it isn't little Carrot Top. How are you, my friend? It's been, what, 3-4 years now?
At least 3 or 4, Silkus. I think that reunion is long overdue.
Indeed
And-
it is. I'm glad to see you doing so well, especially after that last little dalliance with Rector.
Well, Rector has his temper and, our own misunderstandings, but to be perfectly frank, I've put all that behind me, and I'm a world-class hero now.
Oh, really? And what, do tell, how does one come across such a grand title as world-class hero?
Oh, well, to be perfectly frank, it's more or less landed in my lap, and I've, of course, opportunist that I am, took advantage of it, and now my name is celebrated all throughout Valgrim, Dawncross, and the like.
Yes, even all the way back to Nîmes?
Well, sure, probably all the way back to Nîmes, even.
Well, I'm sure Rector will be glad to hear it, or perhaps not hear it, if you catch my drift. And he kind of gives you the elbow.
No, I don't.
I knew for certain that Egan had made a bit of a flat cake of you. I'm incredibly thrilled to see that you are alive and well all the way out here in Goldenleaf. That's how about that? That's spectacular.
Indeed.
So tell me, you still running the card flip that I taught you?
No. In fact, I've decided to pursue other avenues of enrichment and shenanigans, as it were. I've given up the game.
Oh, you strike my heart dearly, Carrot Top. Oh, well, perhaps a bit of drinks. I believe my associate right there will be done in a few moments. If you get my drift, perhaps it'd be best that we not be here.
Of course, we were going to be on our way as well. I think that someone around here was escorting me somewhere.
Oh,
He
yes.
looks around for Braso and everyone else.
I feel like me and Roscoe share a look when Huell says that last piece.
He
Stare
actually
dumbly at
comes
you.
up. He's familiar with Roscoe. He's met Roscoe before, and so he'll come up and, oh, Roscoe, it's good to see you. All that was in jest, of course. You don't actually to keep out here in Golden Leaf.
Huell checks his pocket as well.
Last time I checked, I'm still a keeper. So,
Yeah, but you can't. You're not going to a bit of fun, really. I mean, it's
if nobody's lodged a complaint yet, I don't suppose there's anything for me to keep. But
there we go. Yes, off with the drinks. Then we shall have. So tell me, where are we headed to on this escort mission, my brave hero of the world?
This is all happening so fast.
For now, we were just off to Magic Mistlers.
Oh. Perhaps we'll meet up later. I don't think I am welcome back by the Dracos, but, bit of a misunderstanding.
Oh, I'm sure.
Positively.
Where is it that you're staying, little Carrot Top?
We're staying at some flop house that I don't quite know the names of. I didn't make the arrangements. You see, I
It's
have
at my
people that do
house.
that for me.
And they're gonna sleep in my room.
And he just puts a hand up on Campus's shoulder and gives it a light squeeze. Like,
Oh, thanks. And he gives one back. Thanks, buddy.
Roscoe should grab a pressure point in his arm.
yeah, no, it's just like going right over the shoulder, and you just kind of like,
Yeah.
oh shit, okay.
Oh,
He starts
oh,
twitching.
that hurts.
It's actually a stunning strike.
Oh, that hurts.
Wow. Wow. Vanderveek. Is that how you say it?
Vanderveek.
Yeah.
Vanderveek. We
Ooh.
appreciate the love.
There's the hero of the world.
Yeah.
Many more episodes. That is certainly the intention.
You can sleep in my bed.
Hey, no.
You can take Campus with you.
You gotta be careful.
So he kind of bids you adieu. Well, I'm sure we will catch up. As for me, I think it's time that I best be off out of here. All right, wonderful. And he gives you one more clasp on the back. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Except this time, Huell pulls out his scorching ray wand. Just like,
Just instinctually, like, yeah. He kind of gives you a little joke, like I'm about to pick your pocket, but then he heads off.
mhm. And Huell just gives Roscoe a.
At this
What
point,
are you gonna do?
The crowd is starting to get a little, like, it's starting to turn a bit. And you can hear the woman, now, it's not that big of a deal. I'm sure, it's in the odds. Of course, it is what it is. And, better luck next time. And she's reeled like 4 people. She's just ran through them with a cup and balls game. And so she's just cleaning house on all these suckers here that have fallen for the bait.
Cup and balls denied.
Yeah,
Cup and
He's
balls.
really milking this crowd with the cup and balls, huh?
Really cupping them balls.
So the last hand, I want to watch it a little bit and see if I can't follow the ball.
Yeah, sure. Give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom, that's a thing I've got. All right.
Is the gnomish shop Magic Mistler anywhere nearby?
First
yeah,
pour of
it's-
the evening.
Are you serious, Dave? Yeah, you have no fucking clue how it keeps disappearing. You're like, I thought
It's
it was on the
good.
left.
Good.
Maybe she's just so fast with
So
the
good.
balls over here. Okay, flip this up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, how many? Oh, 2 balls. Nope. And now they're here. Oh, they're back over on this side. Keep track. And she's just totally sleight of handing the crap out of this game. And yeah, you don't have a chance in hell of keeping up.
Yo, you play this game? This is hard. It looks really hard.
Huell has walked off to where the gnomish thing. He knows when to leave a crowd, and if they're staying around to watch, Huell's long gone before everybody gets upset and starts blaming halflings, and he's over. He's walked on.
Yeah,
Close enough. Get him.
Roscoe will follow Huell.
Yeah, and so if you guys end up leaving this little table, you head along, and soon you find yourselves in front of the Magic Mistler. From the outside, this shop is grand. It's actually built like building by building, connecting, kind of a mall type vibe. But compared to the nice wooden, other shops with clothes and shoes and bags, and there's a smith on the end with his clanging going off. He's kind of opened up his shop and is outside working to bring people in. This building with the Magic Mistler has been totally painted blue and has this ridiculous, very rare gold paint that has been applied to the outside. So very rare to see this at this point, and it is just immaculate. All the rest of them have kind of these flat roofs that cut across with the design, and this has this big swooping curl like the end of a guitar head, and it just has this huge open window that is kind of almost glowing around the edges of the window. The door, of course, is open, and it leads into a very simple but elegant shop.
Well, let's go on in.
heading in. You're gonna like this, cousin Huell. I knew this place was here, and I thought of you.
Oh, well, this is wonderful, cousin. I really appreciate you looking out for me like this. This is exactly what I needed for my activities this evening.
And soon a little gnome runs up to you, a little female gnome, and she has her hair all done up in a nice little bow, and she's wearing kind of these sort of high heels, if you will, these sort of like tall clogs that make her stand like a platform shoe.
He was super judgmental about it.
Yeah, so that actually makes her taller than you guys. And so, oh yes, my friends, what can I do for you today? Are we in for a potion? A bit of a scroll, an elemental gem? Tell me, what can we be of service for?
I'm looking for certain inks and powders and the like, incense, if you will, in order to.
Oh yes, of course, scroll making materials. Yes, we can do that. No problem at all. Any books? We have a special dragon scale binding, a beautiful red book that will hold quite a few of those particular spells.
Huell, I already have more than enough books. I think mostly just writing implements and the like. And
has a little clockwork cobra, iron fangs, and it will lash out with a vicious poison. Will absolutely protect you while you sleep, of course, on your grand adventures or even in your lovely homes. They make wonderful, wonderful guard pets.
He's like, I just really the inks and powders is all I need. Thank you. Clockwork scorpions sound like a quite expensive automaton.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. Just 12,000 gold bars, and of course it would be yours. It's one of a kind, I assure you. It has emerald eyes that shoot green flames out. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece. You'll never see anything like it,
and we never will. So, do you have ink like he asked for?
You're gonna see her. Yes, we have ink. Of course, we have ink.
I'll go to the ink kiosk.
She gives a couple of claps, and then these two small winged creatures, who are about as big as you guys are, obviously much smaller than Campus, kind of float in, and they already have these silver trays. They're kind of flapping their little wings, floating in midair. They come over and hand it to you.
It's like walking into an Apple store and asking for some paper.
Right. I just want a screen protector. Like, Huell's gonna buy the ingredients he needs to scribe some scrolls into a spell book.
Yeah, you can handle that here pretty easily, Jim Davis.
He's just gonna takes his little bag,
just like rifle off a couple of coins. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really surprised because I figured you'd want to look around in here.
Oh, I'm infinitely curious about what's going on. I just want to make sure that I get what I need, because I feel as though there are a great many forces in my life right now that seek to part me from the gold coins that are hard earned. I want to make sure I get what I need out of them first. And he was going to buy what he needs and then go browse.
Yeah, she doesn't have many things out. But she does have these sort of like drawn scroll images, if you will. Like literally somebody's taken parchment and very skillfully kind of drawn out and laid them along these empty, otherwise bookshelves that go basically all the way down and then past the counter into the back is sort of a veiled room. There are, however, potions out in some level 1 scrolls and level 2 scrolls, those kind of things, those more easily obtainable stuff. You see some arrows that are set out that are balancing perfectly on their tips, just floating there. So some smaller trinkets and whatnot are out, but the bigger stuff is just mostly just images in parchments of it.
I would really like to see those, that scorpion and cobra. Can we see those?
Yes, of course you can see it. That's not a problem at all. We could take you back to the viewing room. It would just be a 400 gold retainer, of course. If you could just show us that you are prepared to make that particular purchase. We don't want to take away from the other customers around the, around the realm, of course.
I think you're just asking for that because we're halflings.
No, I assure you not. I love halflings.
I'll never.
Well, I do say so. I'm a bit shocked. It's standard procedure. And she points over to the wall, and there's like a big poster that's been drawn out, and it has like all the rules and fine print of shopping here.
Is one of the rules if you're a halfling?
So, yeah, she'll show it to you. You just got to show her 400 gold. If you have 400 gold, you just have to show it to her. She'll take you to the viewing room and get out there.
I don't have any gold written on my character sheet.
For shame.
Yeah.
I have a gold
Busted
piece.
fool.
I now Huell nicked some loot before leaving Vogram, right? Like when we were like in the main halls and it was all empty. I don't think we ever like sighted. I don't know what he's got in his
I think you told me you were
back.
looking specifically for elemental gems, if I'm not mistaken.
I was looking for elemental gems as well.
And
Yeah.
you snagged a few of those, if I remember correctly.
Okay. He's got one of them living in his lantern.
That's correct.
He feeds it tobacco.
So, are you guys doing any more shopping here at the Magic Missler?
I can't afford anything in here.
No, I can't afford anything here.
No.
Yeah.
She looks disappointed, but eventually she says, "Well, thank you for the business. Please keep us in mind." And as always,
I quick do a halfling huddle and have us fly out on the broom.
Wow, that was really cool.
load up on the broom and fly out.
I know.
If you've never seen this, they just whip out the broom and they're just like, "All right, see you later. We can't afford all your rich stuff. Let's get on our incredibly rare magic broom that we have and fly up out of here."
Campus just watches them go. Wow.
Campus.
Campus.
Yeah. What?
We land right on the outside of the door.
Well, come on.
Come on, where?
With us. We're leaving.
Oh, okay, right, yes, I'll... Whoa. And he's, like, rethinking, like, how he's going to be able to guide you guys to see Lasisi, like, on a broom. He's like, wow, okay. And,
Much better, isn't it?
gets on the end. He's like, no, he's like, he only knows the way that he's gone before. You know, he can't figure out, like, how to get places if it's at a slightly different elevation. So, it looks so different.
You're not going to be able to ride this broom. You're bigger than Grindlebrew was. So you can ride this broom like by yourself and with another halfling, but you're not going to be able to put all four of you guys on this broom.
I weigh it down and look so sad.
we just putter along.
It's like one of those noodles in a pool that you get on and you're like, "I'm too heavy for this. I'm sinking." It's like one of those situations. Not from experience or anything. Thanks for it. So, guys, you've been to the Magic Missler. You've seen a little bit of Golden Leaf here. You have your guide. Tell me, what are you guys going to be doing the rest of the day before you go back and rest?
Scribing spells.
Drinking one more brew and then passing out.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a
Awesome.
good meal.
Yeah, you can do that easily. And Campus, anything in particular?
Just gonna watch them, see what they get up to. I'll cook some food, and if anyone needs anything, then I'll just be here watching.
You guys make your way back to the Fire Ferret Inn, and yeah, you guys can do all those things. You notice that Campus's room here at the Fire Ferret Inn, it's massive. Like it's a really nice freaking room. Really, it's the only way to describe it. It's much bigger than what you had thought it was, and he has like, it's almost kind of like a loft above the inn downstairs, and so he has plenty of room. He actually has enough room inside of his room that he can pull out extra pillows for you guys to make additional beds with pretty easily. He's got kind of a sort of couch bit of furniture for you guys to sit on.
It's like
And just-
like a kid's.
swanky.
It's like a kid's like dream like pillow fortress room. It's like he just pulls out all of like the beds and stuff, and he pulls out the pillows and like drapes the sheets over it in such a way to form like a mini castle. And he just like has everything ready for everyone. There you go.
Like, Roscoe comes in the room and like walks right into the pillow fort and just falls down flat on his face, and he's just out and snoring as he hits the ground.
Look at him go. See, it's so comfy, you can just fall right asleep on it.
Huell's gonna finish scribing his scrolls. Otherwise won't leave the room.
Huell, you can fall asleep on the buttresses here. And Braso, this is my keep. Come on in.
Very, very, very nice campus.
My drawbridge is lowered.
Rest before we head out on the trail again.
Oh, okay. If you want, you can come through the Sallyport. And I like so,
Yikes.
and he like dives and tucks and rolls through it and falls asleep in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. And so, Dr. Hill, you can get your good meal, and things are, it's you guys are getting some good rest before your journey. You know that you're going to have probably campus can tell you that you're going to have somewhere between a 4 to 5 day journey, a couple of days through the Howling Foothills, and then a couple more days through the woods to make it all the way to Sela CC.
Now, you said that Luthien was going to go to the Howling Foothills, right?
He is not. He's
Oh, never mind.
he's headed in the opposite direction.
Okay, never mind.
So do this for me. You guys are all pleasantly asleep. Roscoe, you are passed out. Huell, you're kind of grown tired from drawing and copying your spells over. Let's do this. I would say probably you tell me, Will Jones, how alert is campus at this point?
Probably not that alert, no.
Okay, and Dr. Braso Hill, what about you?
He feels like he's safe in the city. This is campus's room, so he would just be sleeping normal.
Okay, let's go ahead and take. I will take a perception check at disadvantage from Dr. Hill and one from Huell, please. Let's see, where are those?
Got a 9 for you.
A couple of nines.
Shit.
Okay. So you guys are resting pretty easily here. And Dr. Hill, you awaken to a sound of a little banging, like a little thump of furniture. As you turn over, you see a small figure leaving the room. It's hard to make out because you guys don't have a candle burning while you're sleeping, but through the moonlight kind of near the window and from the ambient light outside.
I thought you said this was while Huell was copying his scrolls over, or his spells over.
No, this will be while you're sleeping.
I will utter a quick enchantment as I rush after the figure and cast dark vision on myself, and see if I can't.
So you cast dark. Your instincts. You pop up. You cast dark vision on yourself just instinctively. You peer out the window and you see a small creature running hard and fast away, and it has something long in its hand.
I will give out a yell to the lads. Awake! Your broom! I think they got your broom, Roscoe. And I will set off after them. I give the whip and short sword in hand.
Yeah, you take off running. So the three of you awaken to Dr. Hill being like, "Get up, get up!" And he jumps out the window pretty easily. You don't need to make a check or anything like that. And you pop off after them. What do you have? What did Dr. Hill manage to grab on his way out as he jumped up from a dead sleep?
Whip and short sword. That's it.
Okay, so you took the time to grab that. Okay, so you guys get up. You see Dr. Hill popping out of the window, chasing something down the street. What are you guys doing?
Assuming Roscoe hears that and wakes up.
You're drunk, but yeah, it gets you up. You're disoriented. You've gotten probably the most sleep, but you were certainly the most pissed.
Okay. Roscoe's gonna pop up and grab his sword and be like, where am I going? What's going on?
Yeah, I would have yelled and lashed out with the whip at the side of the building to make a lot of racket.
Yeah, it pops off. everybody, you guys are all awake and can hear this. There is still sounds coming from the
Whoa.
tavern down below.
Mhm.
So there are still people about. It's not so late that there's literally the place is empty. But yeah, so what are you doing, Huell?
Huell grabs his wand and heads out the door. If that's where we're going, if he sees a figure running away that like Braso's chasing after, he'll cast Hold Person on it.
Okay.
Roscoe to just
What's the range? What's the range on Hold Person?
60 feet.
Yeah, you're not going to be within 60 feet. You might be able to catch up to somebody and get to that point. But we're talking not 60 feet. We're talking maybe 120 yards at this point. By the time it has jumped out the window in a dead sprint, Dr. Hill has woken up, and you guys are kind of waking up and rushing over to the window from a dead sleep.
I'm gonna grab my bow as I rush out. How far away is this figure?
I would say probably 120 yards. And as you guys make to the
That's a
window,
range of a longbow, right?
it's you can tell it's already kind of leaning like it's about to turn. It's already kind of moving in that direction to wrap around and cut down an alleyway.
Can I get a shot off as it does so?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a shot.
Okay, I'm
you
gonna.
got an AC of 16.
Okay, I'm gonna use a bonus action to use my ensnaring strike, which will do things if and when I hit. So let's try that. Wrong one. There we go. Spell longbow. Dead on. Dead on 16.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful.
So it is 8
What's
points
the
of
save?
8 points of damage. It is a strength saving throw.
I doubt that's gonna get there.
The DC of which is 12.
Yeah, it's not going to get there. So yeah, you.
So what happens is basically the arrow goes out and like vines come along the arrow as it does so, and they wrap around the target in a writhing mass of thorny vines. They are restrained by magical vines, and takes a d6 piercing damage at the start of each of its turns, and it can make a strength save each turn to get out. But basically, I'm like, go get him!
And Roscoe, like the window he shot out of, Roscoe just basically jumps out of it and like hits the ground running.
Okay, so I think it's going to take it's probably going to take, let's say, Dr. Hill's going to take you 2 rounds to catch up there within melee range on a dead sprint with the dash action, and the other 3 of you guys can get there in 3 rounds.
I just want to get within 60 feet.
Yeah, if you're dashing. So, if in 60 feet, it'll take you 2 rounds.
All right.
So
It's gonna take Braso 3 rounds because he stops when he sees when he hears Campus and sees the effectiveness of what he just did. Doesn't really register what I've seen of Campus so far, and it takes him. He's momentarily stunned, and he's gonna like shake it off. I'll be a son of a goblin, and then starts running.
So yeah, Dr. Hill, with your dark vision, you can see 2 figures come out with these little short blades out of they just pop out around this thing, and they're hacking viciously at the vines, and you can hear this sort of,
It's the birds.
and you can hear this kind of as they're chirping and squeaking and squawking back and forth to each other, and they're chopping viciously as quickly as they can at the vines to get this thing done.
So, Cody, since I'm a monk, I'm gonna do Step of the Wind,
Okay.
so I can take a bonus dash on top of my dash, and so I can move a lot quicker.
Okay, no problem. So you'll get there in 2 rounds.
Okay,
You'll catch up and get there within 2 rounds. In melee range, you'll get within range if you get like a throwing star or something like that in a round.
Mhm.
And then so let's flash this over to people who have range things. What about you, Campus? What are you going to do while they're doing this?
I'm gonna run to get closer because I'm worried that this thing can get really, really far real quick. So I'm actually going to dash towards the figure, kind of like he's acted in like total reaction. He has like no idea really what's happening, and he sees the others running after. He's like, okay, and just starts like running as fast as he can. When he thinks about things, he's really bad, but when he acts kind of instinctively, he can actually do stuff. So at the moment, he's just panicking, and he's gonna dash 60 feet towards the figure.
Yeah, okay. And so yeah, he's gonna fail another save. Can you link me that particular ability? I want to see. I want to see if you can cut it.
I think I can share it.
There we go. That's beautiful. Okay. All right. So yeah, they're cutting. He's trying to get up. And eventually they cut through it. This will be the next round here. So at this point, let's say everybody is about to be in range, but not melee range, if that makes sense. So, Dr. Hill, anything you want to do at range?
No, I'm still just running after them. I will. What I will do that I can do at range is I will hunter mark the one with the broom. You can run, but you can't hide, you son of a goblin.
And then let's do this, Campus.
Okay.
Is there anything you're doing? I mean, you got.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying something was happening to me. He's gonna panic.
I'm asking the guy with the bow if there's anything ranged that he wants to do in combat.
I thought you were saying that someone was shooting at me. No, he's gonna panic again and just like try and shoot at the figure that he can see.
Just a regular shot.
Just a regular old.
Yeah,
just a regular old shooterino. It's a 25 to hit.
It's pretty good.
For 11 points of damage. And he just, like, stops thinking again, and it's like... And he's like, I'm amazing! I'm incredible! I've never done that before! Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm going to say that you absolutely brain this particular bird folk that was trying to get
oh
his
my
base
god!
And just cut him free, and he gets up, and you just right through the head.
Oh no!
He falls prone to the ground. You see the other two
he looks dead.
Freak out. And the next one grabs the broom and starts taking off running, and he turns the corner.
Oh no, I've killed someone. Oh god.
But before he does that, I'm going to go ahead and give Huell an opportunity to act as he's trying to turn the corner here.
I cast Hold Person on him, DC 14 Wisdom.
That is going to be a fail. That's going to be a fail.
All right, he's held.
Yeah, he's held in place. So he grabs the broom, he turns to run away. His partner, who's trying to hack viciously at the vines to free their companion, is running away with him. He doesn't see the Kinku with the broom is not moving. And so he turns and he takes off running down the alleyway, and he basically falls out of sight because he has no clue that his buddy is just being magically held in place. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that, yeah, you guys make your way to this Kinku. There's a dead one at your feet covered in these magical vines. There is a Kinku who is just frozen in place holding a broom.
Oh my god, I've just killed someone. I just killed him.
It's called Gregoring, and
just Gregored someone.
It's all right.
Oh my god.
Campus. And then whoever's closest, get that broom.
Yeah, no, Roscoe goes up and grabs the broom, and he's like,
It is not the broom that you think it is. It is just a broom that happened to be in the room from that Campus had left the last time that he was sweeping up.
Okay.
I throw down my bow and I prostrate myself before Roscoe, and I'm like, take me now, sir. Take me now.
Hey, Campus. They broke into our room.
Yeah.
They stole.
Oh.
They stole from you.
Huell makes his way back to the room.
but I'm gonna say to the Kinku that's like frozen in place, they're like, don't make me come back. You get out of here, and you tell your friends if they fuck with us again, we'll clean you all out. And next time, we'll use a real broom.
Yeah, my friend here, he needs some more fletchings for his arrows.
I don't need any more.
But you can go ahead and keep this. And noticing that it's not the actual broom, he throws it at the feet of the Kinku that's frozen.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at chat. That'll shut down the broom stealing business in this part of town.
The whole industry.
Fucking A, Will. All right, so Huell goes back to the room, just leaves while Roscoe is giving his threats. Campus, you I assume have no idea why this broom was so important. You did
Absolutely
see the
not.
magical broom earlier.
It's just
but
my broom.
You just killed your first person ever
Yeah.
for stealing a broom from your room while you slept.
Hey,
Yeah.
Campus, seriously,
Just
you shouldn't
panic.
beat yourself up. If it didn't happen tonight, it'll happen tomorrow probably.
Oh God, it's gonna happen again. Why do they want my
Yeah.
broom so bad?
Kinko are weird creatures. I mean, we just met them, but I think they maybe mistook it from our broom. You know, the one that we were flying around on.
Okay.
So,
Well-
but I wouldn't. I mean, criminals are just criminals, man. And you just,
I know we're halflings and we're small, but for some reason we get into big trouble
yeah.
and end up in a lot of scrapes. And you're probably going to have to shoot more people.
Oh, I
There's
don't know
orcs
if I want to do that.
and gnolls,
I don't know if I want to
you
shoot
just-
more people.
dead.
Yeah, you just keep pulling that string back and letting it fly. And
Well,
trust me,
I've never
when it's all
shot.
said-
I've never shot like that before in my entire life.
Well, and didn't you feel exhilarated?
a
I mean, that
little
was a great shot. That was amazing.
bit. I was a little bit.
And that thing you did with the arrow, that was pretty cool.
I've never been able to do that, and I've took the test 76 times.
Like, there was thorns and vines, and it wrapped them up.
I don't know what the hell that was, man.
That was smart thinking.
I've never been able to do anything like that before in my entire life. There was vines and everything, and I just wanted him to stop, and then he did. And then I just wanted to shoot him in the head, and he died.
Well, that will happen if you shoot people in the head. They will.
I
die.
guess so now. Yeah, I know that now.
Yeah, especially the brain. The brain's very important. So
All right, okay.
yeah, it's a good place to shoot people if you don't, want them to live.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we just go back and have some nightmares, maybe.
I mean, I'm gonna go and get some sleep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
maybe some more milk for you before bed.
I could do
get you
with some
a
warm
small
milk.
glass of milk. Yeah,
If you're feeling bad and feeling guilty, Huell is actually a really good person to talk
You
to.
think I could hug him?
Working things out.
I'm sure he'd
Again.
let you hug him. And also, do you have maybe like something you could do to like keep people out of our room?
Huell he's left. He's gone back to the room, and he wants to get back there as quickly as possible.
Yeah. You make it back to the room. Everything is there. Everything is there. You literally see the broom that you had taken and kind of shoved it next to you by the pillows and whatnot as you slept. The broom that they grabbed must have been the first thing that they saw, and so yeah, everything is in your rooms.
And then Huell's just going to wait for his friends to get back.
Okay,
Roscoe,
yeah, we
I
come in
can't
and be like,
believe that after Huell was so kind to them.
yeah, I mean, he did offer rides and stuff. Hey, Huell, do you have something maybe you could keep these guys out of our room for the rest of the night, maybe?
Now, spells of that sort exist. I don't have any in my repertoire at the moment, but they should be an easy enough thing to remedy. Although I have a feeling that this gnomish outfit charges an arm and a leg.
Well, my master's been trying to teach me something a bit like that. I'd never been able to do it before, but now I feel great. And this is a little bit just taking a flavor of the spell because it's... No, actually, no, I tell a lie. It lasts for 8 hours. I cast my level 2 spell, Cordon of Arrows, and I place 4 pieces of non-magical ammunition, my 4 arrows, just around the room. And they're just kind of set up there. And when I connect them, it's almost like connecting a circuit, and there's like a little kind of blue hum around the room, and I'm like, whoa! I did it! I tried that 76 times, never been able to do that before.
All of the training and the hours of shooting at big dummy straw targets and these going on these paths of extravagant of running through the woods and jumping over branches and logs and stuff as you run through to complete the course that has been set up to you by Luthien. It's like riding a bike. All your instincts and muscle memory just kicked in.
Yeah, he sees the Matrix.
Same thing with Cordon of Arrows.
What a wonderful occasion to celebrate. The discovering of your magical potential is a fantastic and unique experience. And Huell hands Campus some long bottom, and then it just let's just pass it around. And Huell will eventually have 4 of them in rotation.
Nice.
And at this point, you guys, I mean, you have an uneventful night. You
Just like
you
sleep.
rest soundly, or perhaps not, and soon the morning rays begin to peek into the room. You did wake up once throughout the night as the handbells to call out the guards, which somebody clearly must have discovered this body just lying in the middle of the street. That you guys literally
I look
just left
really
lying.
guilty out the window as they drag it away.
And you know, Campus, you kind of knew what those bells were the second you heard them. And
They're
you know,
coming for me. They're coming for me.
and then,
Campus,
and then
come
when
here,
the
come
body's
here.
gone.
Come here. Just
Ah.
lay down, and he pats a
It's
pillow.
like
next to him.
pigeons. It's like getting rid of a pigeon.
He like cuddles up on Roscoe.
It's okay. Shh. And he just goes back to sleep.
Thanks, Don, for the puff puff pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
And Roscoe just kind of passes back out, just kind of petting Campus's hair as he passes out.
Yeah. Huell does have tiny hut, as someone asked in the chat, but he hasn't cast it yet. What's a halfling without his home?
The morning comes. Does the party set off? Do they spend more time here in Golden Leaf? Do you try to
no.
catch up with Silkus?
We've outstayed our welcome once again.
Yeah, as always. Yeah.
As always,
Roscoe
yeah.
and his
I'd
morning-
like to leave before someone comes and starts asking us about dead birds.
Yeah. Roscoe do his morning stretches and routine and get ready to depart.
What spells do I want to prepare?
You gentlemen, led by Campus, make your way through Golden Leaf, getting ready to head out of the North Gate. As you guys are kind of approaching the gate here, it's standard typical, you know, day fare here. You have people hustling and bustling by. People are bringing in wagons full of woodworks from some of the woodcutters that have been out in the areas nearby and imported woods. You do hear a bit of a commotion as you kind of make your way all the way to the gate. As with most cities here in Esselis, the gates, the city is walled off. It is fairly well protected from the outside wilds and stretches beyond. And as you guys kind of approach the walls here, you see a couple of guards wrestling with somebody kind of that they're holding on to, and you can't quite tell who it is, but you kind of make your way through the crowds. You can see a little bit better, and you see a man, but something is striking about this particular man. He, first off, is covered in blood, and he is not covered in blood on his shirt or his hands, really. His hands do have blood on them, but that's not really the part that disturbs you. What really disturbs you is the blood built all around his mouth and down his shirt. And as you kind of see better as to what's going on, you realize that there is a woman dead at his feet. And up and down this guy's neck is something that is strange, yet slightly familiar, with this veiny-like black tar that is peeking up from the shirt
There it is.
and up along his neckline.
The
Well.
not to interrupt, but the one thing that I would have done before I left is just tell Master Lucius and like show him some of my magic so that he's like proud of me. But we don't need to do that. I just wanted to make
He's
that.
quite impressed.
Just my own validation.
He's like, yeah, be sure to tell your dad. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, get out. I look at, I mean, I just look back to Huell immediately. What's going on with that?
So there's a dead woman, a man with blood and black veins. We just happen upon them.
Like
I don't-
Yeah.
They're clearly being apprehended by the town's guards.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I guess I
he's-
missed that
he's-
part. I thought it was like,
Yeah, he's like like being held and arrested, but a crowd has way fucking gathered around this, you know, at this point, you know, and so the guards are in action and they're moving people past. This happened so near the gate that you think, you know, he might have even ran in from the gate, because clearly the guards would have been able to see the black tar is eking all the way up right around his chin line.
But we do see that.
Oh yeah.
All right, make way. Keeper coming through. Make way. And he's like, Roscoe just starts swinging his law dick around, and
A couple of people look at you like, what? Oh, okay,
yeah, I'm a keeper. Get out of the way, please, and just start like moving through the crowd and like cutting a swath through, and move up. Like he sees like this black whatever, and he's like, "Hey, you guard, can I see that? I'm I'm doing an investigation right now. This doesn't look good, and I want to go check out that guy."
Yeah. You see the guard kind of, hold, citizen, and then he kind of looks over whenever you say you're a keeper, and you see another guard kind of step up, give him the nod, give him the shake, and he's like, okay, fine, and he kind of pulls you over, and then he's continuing to bustle the people back further away from this woman and this man. This man, they've got down on his knees at this point. A sword has been drawn on him from a third guard, and he is feral. He is fighting and struggling even with a sword basically being held out in front of him in a threatening manner. And as you close in on him, you see that his eyes are like just black. He just has black eyes that are pupilless, if you will. They are just solid, glossy, and black. It's quite disturbing.
But this looks very familiar.
It's very scary.
The tar does.
Yeah, I mean, like the
tar that came off of the sword at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks kind of a lot like that.
Huh. And I kind of look back, like, give it knowing
much more. And none of the dwarves had any of this.
Yeah.
I want to really stress how much of this black is coming up. It's significant. You cannot miss it. It's not like he can hide it.
Right.
Where's this gentleman live? Where is he from?
Something very similar to this.
Yeah. Huell, you're not actually able to get through. You'll have to kind of like duck under the guard that's pushing people back. He's kind of let the keeper through at this point.
Oh, Huell's gonna misty step in then. As soon as he gets a visual, he's just gonna.
Hey.
And the guy's kind of looking over.
And I wave him off. I'm like, no, he's with me.
I'm this gentleman, lawgiver's advisor and consultant on all things arcanic and demonic.
This is the same thing, isn't it, Huell?
Oh, this is definitely the same thing. New iteration, I think. Where's this man live? Who is he?
We do not know. He approached the gates in a hood, and he sprinted past the guards when he was questioned.
From outside.
Well, yes, and he kind of points over the gates. It's midday, so they're open.
Right.
Like the guards are there watching people come in. The gates aren't actually closed. So as this guy, I mean, because even if they let one person in,
yeah, the gates will be open, will they?
Yeah, the gates are open.
Huell doesn't know anything about medicine or anatomy, so he's going to ignore the lady. She's dead, right?
She is dead.
Okay.
Her throat has been ripped out, and she has additional like scratch marks, and you can see a good chunk of skin under this guy's nails, and it just looks like he just went feral and attacked and clawed and literally ripped her throat out with his own mouth.
He if he looks securely held, Huell is going to cast a ritual detect magic to see if there's anything he can glean from what's going on.
Yeah, it's actually giving off like a faint necrotic feel to it, much like what the tar did back in Permath.
Well, Huell, do you want to see if maybe the Sensiver will push back the tar from him like it did in Vagram?
I do, actually. And now this, let's see if we can save this gentleman before he's killed.
Yeah, I mean, no, I just want to see, we just touch the sword to him, see if it has any effect.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'll go ahead and off my back, because I kind of keep it wrapped in a blanket.
Because it's glowing.
It's glowing. I'll unroll Sensiver and like pull it out. And I mean, does it still look like rusted now that we're back in the real world, but glowing?
Remember, when you returned back to Permath, after having kind of absorbed part of the anchor's power, it took on a brighter sheen.
Oh, right.
It's not as immaculate as it is whenever veil, but after having kind of absorbed that anchor's power, it does seem to have improved in quality, and it also has that kind of purple gem built into the hilt now that was not there previously.
Right. Okay. Well, then yes, I'll go ahead and bring that out there, and I'm just gonna start moving it towards the guy to see if there's any effect. Before
Here's
I
the
actually
deal.
like.
When you pull out the sword and unsheath it, he becomes still. He doesn't look at you. He doesn't, he's kind of being held with his arms back on his knees. He doesn't just like turn his head and look at you. He just kind of goes blank and stares off into the distance.
Well, I'd say that's a reaction.
What sort of sorcery is this?
Well, it's the kind that is currently the focus of my investigation as a keeper.
And you see him walk up, and now that the guy is like stopped struggling and kind of like almost not foaming, because he wasn't foaming at the mouth, but like aggressively growling and grunting and struggling. Now that the guy is still, the guard kind of pulls back the edge of his tunic a bit, and you can see the black veins going down and into his chest. And he pulls it down pretty much to the center of his chest, and it looks like all of these veins emit from the center, almost like a black sun.
It appears as though the tar is taking over some of his chakras.
Over his what?
The points of energy fluctuation in a body that naturally occur and allow magic to pass through it and channel it. Everyone has it and is capable of it, which is why wizardry is the greatest magic known to mankind.
Are you saying that he was bewitched?
Oh, it's quite possibly bewitched, absolutely.
Do you think maybe we could bleed this out of him? I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
That sounds like a surgery that's designed to kill the patient, but there's something in him which is causing him to be taken over. I'm worried if we bring the sword away from him, it'll just come back.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just gonna go up with the sword and lightly just touch the tip to his chest.
As you barely, lightly press this blade against the center of this black hole that has taken over him, he begins to writhe, and he begins to let out a god-awful, like, man scream in pain, like he's being pulled or ripped apart. He lets out just this blood-curdling scream at the top of his lungs, and you can see the tar beginning to dissipate. But the problem is, it's not dissipating. It is bubbling over and boiling his skin. And he begins to writhe and scream in pain, eventually so hard that the guards let him go, and he convulses on the ground until he lays still.
And then Roscoe will go down and he'll check at his neck to feel if he feels a life beat.
His skin is practically steaming as you reach down to his body. As you place your fingers on his neck, he is deceased.
Definitely not welcome in another place. Turn to campus. This happens all the time. He does his lawgiver thing, and then Huell uses the magic, and they always leave me over here on the side of all these other big folk. You'll get used to it after a while, though.
The guards are like just stunned.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, there's a great.
What is that blade?
This is Sensiver, the great blade of the Shadow Veil. But anyway,
and you see them like kind of like react, like what?
Right. No, that's because I may be a halfling, but you're obviously in over your head. So just shut up and listen to me for a second, okay? we have been investigating this for going on like 6 months now. We've already helped the dwarves of Vagram. Certainly you've seen all the lights in the sky over the last year. Yes?
We saw something from the woods, yes, but we assumed that was
No.
from the elven folk.
No, it's affecting more than this guy came probably from somewhere in that area. It's infecting the land. We have to get there. We have to help. We've already helped the dwarves of Vagram. We were just heading out to Silasisi because I have to get this blade over there to prevent, and he points at the guy, that from happening to all of these people.
You realize that this guy is like, he's not a captain of the watch.
Oh, he's just a town guard.
He's just a town guard. Like, you're throwing this like world-ending plot at him, and he has no idea what you're talking about. He's just seen something like the craziest thing he's ever seen. And so he just kind of was like, yeah. If you're a keeper, then
Yeah. No, it's okay. No, nobody's asking anything special of you.
what is your name?
My name's Roscoe Threestone. I'm a keeper of the law, and I'm here to save the fucking day.
Point, you're up, whoosh, and you see a robed man approaching fast. As this man kind of gets a little closer to you, he's wearing just solid green robes, nothing particularly fancy. And he has the sort of golden leaf emblem on his chest. And you kind of look over and you're like, oh, okay. It kind of looks like the guards' uniforms, like almost like he's a magical guard or some person here to keep track of the city. And he comes up, what is going on here?
And I'm going to go ahead and put Sensiver back in its sheath.
You somebody higher up in the totem pole here with the town guard for Golden Leaf?
That would seem to be the case, yes.
And you know of the lights that have been in the sky over the last 10 months?
Indeed, it has been quite troubling here.
Yeah. So, have you seen the corruption that spreads from these focal points of energy? Know anything about them?
And you see him kind of like, he kind of gives you the nod, like, hey,
like, can we talk about this in private?
There's a bunch of fucking people around us.
Yeah.
Like, let's have this conversation elsewhere.
Okay.
And he, perhaps I could invite you to a more private area to discuss such matters.
Well, I mean, sure. We were just heading out of town, and we're kind of on a schedule. But yeah, if you have a place right around the corner, we can discuss things quick like. But just know that I purged the corruption from this man.
Who is we? And he kind of scans the crowd.
Us, and I kind of point to Huell, and kind of over my shoulder is Braso and Campus.
Indeed.
Howdy.
He reaches his hand out. Kieran.
Kieran.
And I'll go ahead and shake it too. Roscoe Threestone, keeper.
Tobias, just keep this cleaned up. Get it cleaned up. Get it cleaned up. Yes, Grandmaster. And he begins to they kind of, okay, back up, folks. Nothing to see here. Bit of bewitching is all. Because he has no idea what to say. Bit of bewitching, folks. Nothing to see here. Everything is fine. You know.
Oh, good.
His Campus just like immediately put at ease.
Yeah, he's like, whew, that was close.
And so Kieran says, if you could gather your associates.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll be like, hey guys, come on, cousins, Campus.
Are we being detained?
No, nothing like that.
Oh, well, then excellent. Let's carry on.
And Roscoe just kind of gives you a look. Why would we be detained?
He reaches his hand out, and he kind of offers it for each of you to grab his hand.
Dr. Braso Hill at your service. Greetings.
Simultaneously holding his hand out, kind of like a big group huddle, like ready, break, like kind of like that. Like he holds his arm out. Be able to grab
really weird handshaking rituals in this town. Okay, whatever.
I was thinking the same. This is weird.
as soon as Campus and Dr. Hill grab onto his arm, you guys feel that familiar wisp of being pulled lightly into thin nothingness.
Oh
As
God, you gotta tell me shit.
appear back at a rather well-dressed room that is a bit quieter, if you will. And as you kind of adjust to your new environment, all of the sudden here, you realize it's probably a room inside of maybe the large tower. You can see a window nearby that is clearly up here in the sky. 2 + 2, you guys are kind of putting it together that the green and gold flags of Golden Leaf kind of hang here on the wall. And
Damn it.
please tell me what you know of these troubling signs.
And Roscoe kind of go and look out the window and try to find where he thinks the gate where they just were trying to leave.
Yeah, if you go to the window, like you realize it's like you're gonna have to walk all the way back over there.
Damn it.
And
It's not that far.
Almost out the door. Okay. All right. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
Everywhere we go is like the Hotel California. I'm tired of this.
So yeah, and so he will ask you what you know. What information do you have? Information about the sword here is what.
Well, I mean, Roscoe will give him the Cliff Notes version of we closed the portal in Bagram and this thing can actually beat back that corruption, and it's been proven. So we're on our way to Sela Sisi to hopefully help the elves close their portal to wherever the Shadow Veil.
And this sword, it was effective in closing this.
Yeah, it closed the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Roscoe 3stone here just puts the tip in the hole and it just closes everything up. And he's really hell bent on going to these other holes and closing them with his tip.
Yeah.
At this point, Huell, you hear coming from your bag.
Mm-hmm.
I do say, Huell, are you there?
What the fuck?
Huell looks down in his bag. Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
Huell, I believe that we have indeed a problem. It seems that things have taken a turn for the worse here in the Vale.
Oh, yeah. Well, can you give us an update? It's been several months that we were gone. I don't know what time it is there for you.
You just left.
Well, you know how the time works between the Vales.
And that is where we're going to call the game for this particular evening.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was interesting.
Cody's out of material.
That was a bit interesting there, Will Jones. I like the
Change of pace.
I like the choices.
Only young.
Have you ever seen Beer Fest, buddy?
Uh-uh.
You should watch it. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay. Yeah, no, I want a bit of change of pace from the Grindle, from the old to the young, and and hey, I rode like fucking dynamite today. Like those two.
Hell yeah.
Two
you were
checks.
rocking it.
That was pretty impressed with that. So pretty damn happy. Well, do we want to do some thank you to our sponsors for tonight's episode?
Yeah, we certainly do. I do want to mention real quick before we get to the sponsors here, because I know some people will bounce out of here. Next week, Will Jones is going to be, as you say, on holiday. And
Vacation.
Will Jones is going to be on vacation. And so, Saber Dice is going to be off next Wednesday. And we will be returning, so we will not be here for the 6th, and we will instead be returning on the 13th of June.
Awesome. Yep.
So, just wanted to throw that out there.
Good stuff.
Now let's thank those sponsors.
Yeah, who wants to thank the sponsors today? We were really energetic last time.
Monk, is Monk going to do it?
I really want.
Let me tell you something about Dungeon Painter Studios. If you go over to pyromancer.com and you can download it, it's pretty fucking awesome. We didn't see any maps tonight, but that's fine. We're going to see them not next week, but the week after that. And then you can go over to Fantasy Grounds and you can use those maps on any adventure. It's great.
And there's
The
Monk.
look on the cat's face is like
Monk's like,
He's like,
put me
"You
down.
motherfucker, I'm gonna use so many fucking wires tonight, you son of a bitch." No,
How
he,
dare you use me for your amusement?
no, he will. He's gonna
I
shoot
will be pooping in your shoe tonight.
Yeah. Wire chewer.
Amazing, amazing. We'll definitely check out the sponsors, my friends. Definitely join us next week. I rise above. I rise above. I get that sponsor message out, and I stay nerdy as I do so. Not next week, but the week after. So June 13th?
June 13th, we'll be
13th.
back and
back in action.
with a whole new cast.
I
No, I'm
think
kidding.
most of us.
New cast. The whole new artwork, whole new everything.
Everything.
We'll be
It's all
gone. Amazing. Well, thank
None
you
of
guys
us
for
will be
watching.
here.
Well, yeah, that's true. We'll be gone. We'll be gone.
Hey,
That's
when are
awesome.
you going to Origins, man? Is that gonna interrupt
That week.
the week of June 13th?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to play?
I don't know. I'm gonna. You know what? Maybe I will try to play from the room.
We'll just have Ted or Nate replace you, or better yet, both Ted and Nate replace you.
Like in Eton.
Wow.
Yeah, and they can each decide. We'll like crop
Uh-huh.
the OBS to like crop them as like at one Eton, and then one person can do combat or I don't know. How would that work? We'll figure it out.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, I will face that challenge when it comes to me.
You will face that challenge. Sure.
We'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. And until then, stay nerdy again.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Late already.